All right, welcome back. So this is part 2. We're looking at the Wrath of the Dragons 2 deck. We're going to see some matches. What I feel like is the strongest Dragon Priest deck in the current meta. The meta is still adjusting daily though, so I will give that caveat. Okay, let's see what we get as an extra card. We do have a 2, so now I think we can keep... I think perhaps we keep Bookworm. You want to keep something to set off the Discover mechanism with Historian. So I think the only question here is, do we keep Azure Drake or Bookworm? Because it's Paladin, there's likely going to be some Bookworm targets. Will there be by turn 5 when we could coin out Bookworm? Will they still be around? I don't know, but I think we'll do it this way. The nice thing about this is it's, you get that extra card draw, but we only have one Bookworm in the deck, so I think we will do this. So we play this on turn 2. If it doesn't die, we have a target to Talon Priest on turn 3. And with Bookworm and Entomb both at turn 6, if at all possible, we want to save coin until turn 5. Now we have a turn 5 play, so that's not as vital.
Reporting for duty.
Once upon a time.
I think we take another operative. 3 operatives is great. We'll take it.
Don't worry, loves. The cavalry.
So he is going to trade. We probably will play this on an empty board unless we just draw something else. You know what? I think it's worth it. We have such a good curve of... We're missing 4, but hopefully we're going to be able to heal something here on turn 4. But we have such a good curve of sort of mid-game plays. I think it's worth trying to get something out here to stick. This deck is... so he's not going to play something to let us damage this, it looks like. That's a good draw.
Once upon a time.
Another Draconid operative.
Right away.
This deck is a tempo deck in a lot of ways, right? And because the way the mana curve is, you oftentimes have something to play each turn, sticky minions in a lot of cases. You get value out of all the discoveries. And this is one of the Goons decks, obviously, with the Smuggler's Run we've seen now, as his cards in his hand are now being buffed. So we're going to go ahead and play this. A very strong play. It's 5/6. It's got a good body. It's hard to pass on Tyrion, right? I think we do play Tyrion here.
Right away.
And unfortunately, he's going to be able to draw. We don't know what he's going to play out of hand, but... So it looks like he's going to just go ahead and kill this, use the last swipe of his... And we have so many cards in hand, plus with the Discover mechanism, that's not necessarily a problem. All right, he is going to outer Peacekeeper this, and he starts to take board control here. 3 or less attack. We'll take his card draw away. And we figured there'd be a Bookworm target there. So what we're trying to do here is get through. So he's going to trade this because he wants this to survive as long as possible. We can Corruptor it. That's probably what we'll have to do here. We do not want that surviving, right? So many 1 health targets. As you just don't want the Enforcer surviving more than 1 turn. Everything will just get out of hand. So this Goons deck is a fun deck. I like this. Of all the Paladin decks, to me, this is probably the most fun right now. The craziest one may be the newer version of Every Fin is Every Fin is Awesome with the new Murloc. There's another buffing all of his cards. So again, we just have to try to weather this storm. This is such a great card. So great that we probably entomb it. I think that that's entomb worthy. You could make the argument, I guess, that he has enough. I mean, so this card is going to heal him. He will also have Tirion in his deck, so it is possible that you save Entomb for Tirion. If we play Tirion here and don't Entomb it, then we do go ahead and attack, kill it, and then play Tirion for all of these.
Move outside.
The other thing we could do is Shadow Word Death it, but I think some of these lists will play Ragnaros and the Light Lord version of Ragnaros. And so, because we have a way to deal with this, I think we go ahead and deal with it this way. Hopefully this will absorb all of his current minions and help us catch back up on what's going on. You would not be... Look at a 6/8 Bran. We may have to Entomb it. Or actually Shadow Word Death it. We like Bran a lot though. It works really well with our deck. I do tend to think though that a second Tirion is kind of... It's so overpowered that it might be just worth doing that. This is our only Shadow Word Death that we run. We know we're going to do this. That leaves 6 mana. Yeah, we're going to Death it instead of Entombing it. And we're going to go ahead and remove his minion. So we've got him down to 4 cards in his hand. 3 of them have been buffed. So the buffed cards we expect to be out of range of Shadow Word Pain. That's why I went ahead and used it. And there's our Entomb target. We've been waiting on him. Do we play another one of these? It's such a slow play to not play it. I think we need to play it. And the discipline there of waiting on... the discipline on waiting on the right Entomb target. Using Shadow Word Death when we needed to, and then waiting for a tomb. To me, I feel like that's the difference in that matchup. Okay, that match took a little longer, so this might be the end of part 2 of the best Dragon Priest deck. However, I did want to mention, because I don't think I mentioned this in the first video, I always try to give credit to where the deck is from, and if you've been watching my other Dragon Priest decks, you'll have seen that that I've tried to do that. And to me, at this point, this Dragon Priest deck is more of like a group mind or group think. I've seen so many different versions of it. I think I've seen this version somewhere, maybe on someone's stream or on Hearthstone, but I can't pull it up. I'm just not sure. There's so many variations. This might have been, if you go to Trump's site and or his stream, this might have been pretty much the one he ran, but I'm not even sure that was the first place I saw it. But if I was going to give one person credit, I would probably say Trump is the one that had the closest, maybe exactly this grouping of different minions. But again, there's a lot of variations of it, and there's probably several people at this point that have come up with a pretty close list to this. So I did want to mention that, but we'll go ahead and end here, and we'll at least come back for a part 3. And I wanted to get some different matchups, maybe even see what the deck looks like when it loses versus winning, because it does lose some. You've stayed around this long, so let me just throw one more tidbit of information. I've been tracking this. since I switched over to this version of this deck. So again, it's had a lot of changes, but since I switched to it, it's gone 13-5. So it's about 72% win rate. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll be back shortly.